Hi and welcome to Nerdy Gamers. Today we're going to look at the Indie Royale May Hurray bundle. Details about the games and the developers can be found in the description below. Okay, let's get started. Now there are 5 games to this bundle: Dungeon Defenders, Containment, Fastforward, Brainpipe and Weird Worlds. Now we're going to start off with a look at Dungeon Defenders. Now Dungeon Defenders is kind of a variation upon a tower defense game, except you take control, and with an individual you can set up various traps along the point, and the aim of the game is to stop the monsters from getting to your crystal and destroying it. Now you can get a variety of different pickups. There's different missions and challenges, and there's a large scope for an amazing amount of gameplay. You can also play this multiplayer locally or online, and this is something that will keep you going. Probably one of the best parts of the entire bundle. Now the next game that we've got is Containment, which is a puzzle game. Now this is based around a zombie, and they're taken over the world, and what you do is you use your survivors in order to surround the zombies, and which destroys them. Now you'll find this very reminiscent of various Tetris-like games, but instead of forming lines around along the bottom, you need to surround these zombies. Now you get various different pickups which you can get, such as grenades, which will destroy a selection of zombies in an area. You could get something like missile strike, which destroys everything in a row, including the survivors. Now this is a fairly fast-paced game, because the longer that you take over it, the more the zombies eat your survivors and turn them into more zombies, making the game more difficult. If you're not quick enough, eventually you'll lose as the number of zombies overtake the amount of survivors that you have. The next game that we have is Fastforward. Now this game is a simple racing game in which you race along a track, avoid obstacles and try and pick up everything that's along your path. Now this has some interesting variations to it over a lot of racing games. Though it's relatively straightforward, sometimes the controls can be a little bit tricky if you're using a digital setup, but use of analog sticks would help considerably here. This game, while simple, is relatively enjoyable. It will pass away sometime, though probably not one of the strongest contenders in the bunch. It's well worth taking a look and spending some time upon it. Now one of the bits is you get various different actions that you can perform, and one of the things is you can see along the bottom you've got nukes which you can use, which just helps clears out some of the obstacles nearby. The next game that we're going to look at is Brainpipe. Brainpipe is very reminiscent to TIE Fighter. During one of the training missions. You went down a pipe and tried to avoid all the obstacles. This game focuses on the visuals and also the audio, and you get a special move which you can slow everything down, and not only does it slow the game down, but it also slows the audio along with it. The aim of the game is to go along and grab these various symbols that you can find, which help add towards your score. If you collide with too many things in quick succession, you'll eventually lose, bringing a game over. Now there are multiple different levels which you can start off on. The easiest, there's very few obstacles and doesn't go too quickly, going up to the final level, which is very fast with many obstacles in the way. The final game, Weird Worlds. This is very reminiscent of 4X games, but without the conquering. You take charge of an explorer who travels through the universe in order to gain as much money as they can within that time. The whole interface has been very simplified. Click and drag interface. Trading is very simple. Quite often you can trade one item for another directly, regardless of its value, or sometimes you have to trade in the value of the object in order to get it. This game is straightforward and can be played from completion, from start to finish, in anywhere under 10 minutes, maybe 15. Whereas if you go for a larger game, you can have many hours of gameplay, with plenty to explore. Okay, this has been the May Hurray Royal Bundle. Out of this, probably the 2 best games in here would be Dungeon Defenders, absolute must, and Weird Worlds. The other games are quite interesting and definitely worth taking a look at. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed. Hope this will make up your mind if you want to buy it or not. I'll see you next time.